What's up, people? This is Niche Girl 30 here, and this is another NG Minute. I am excited, I am refreshed, I am ready to go. Let's talk about TNA. Bound for Glory is tomorrow, people. And yes, as you can see, it is daylight, which means I am doing this on a Saturday. Mainly because I was too tired to do it last night. So I'm doing it now. But either or, I am excited about Bound for Glory. And two matches make me excited. Number one, the Ultimate X match. And actually seeing TNA this past Thursday night shows me that it was going to be one awesome match to watch. With Chris Sabin and Samoa Joe going at it in the ring, gave us a preview on how the Ultimate X match is going to be when they had Austin Aries, Manic, and Jeff Hardy come out. Honestly, I'm really excited about this match. I really am excited about it, and that is why I love this Go Home show. They did a good job in promoting the Ultimate X match. And as for moving from the Ultimate X and going to the heel side of things, I was not impressed with Dixie Carter's heel turn at all. She kind of tainted the whole idea for me when she was clinging to the leg of Hulk Hogan, saying, "Please come back, don't leave me, blah, 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 blah." But honestly, seeing how she was bold enough to put a $50,000 bounty on the head of AJ Styles, wondering where the money came from, was popped in my head for the first thing. I'm like, okay, what is that, Monopoly money in there? And it was Monopoly money. For anybody that noticed, it was Monopoly money. But regardless of that, honestly, I was really impressed with Dixie Carter putting a bounty on AJ Styles' head. And literally in every segment he was in, he had people knocking him down, just beating the crap out of him. And what I loved about that segment was the fact that it made me kind of reminisce on the hardcore title during the WWF days, and how awesome it was when, even though you held the title, you only held the title for a few seconds before somebody clocks you and take it. But instead of it being for a title, it was just for money. And I think it was just absolutely awesome the way they set that up. But besides the Ultimate X preview match, it was nice to actually have the gauntlet qualifier. Well, actually, for the last group going in the gauntlet, I guess it's supposed to be a tag team gauntlet match. I don't know. I have to go back and look. I go back and look at all the matches. But honestly, it was pretty interesting. Who would have ever thought that Robbie E, of all people, will come out with a win, being the last people, Bromance being the last people to go in the gauntlet. Yeah, let's see how long they're going to last in the gauntlet. It's going to be pretty hilarious. They're going to be the first ones out. But my main event of the night, my personal main event of the night, was the fact that Bully Ray and AJ Styles, the signing that they had for their match at Bound for Glory. Honestly, you could literally cut the tension with a machete. It was that much tension between those two. It was that much heat coming off those guys. And that's what I loved about that segment. Bully Ray took it all the way back to the Nature Boy and also to the American Dream. And AJ Styles was like, "Look, I'm no Dusty Rhodes, and you're no Nature Boy." Like, I mean, they were like back and forth banter, but it was awesome because they took wrestling history and put it in their feud, and I love that. I love it. I am really looking forward to this match because you can tell that there is heat between these guys. Serious heat between these guys, which means it's going to make the match all the better. Hence why I did not like the fact that Kurt Angle made his debut last week. I was not thrilled about the fact that he came on TNA that early. But the fact that you actually see a lot of tension and not a lot of hitting between these guys, I mean, there's occasional punches right then and there, but regardless of that, it still works. Like, it still brings up the heat between these guys, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing this match all the more. So, let's move on from TNA to SmackDown, shall we? Hearing the word respectable when it comes to anything GM for SmackDown, especially when it refers to Vicky Guerrero, is a word that should not be used. These guys have absolutely no power, no control at all of their shows. Maybe Brad Maddox has a little bit, but Vicky Guerrero has none. And even though Vicky Guerrero is now a heel GM, it doesn't even matter anymore. Because even when she's a face, she still doesn't get any props at all. And Brad Maddox, yeah, he tried, but he just failed epically. And the reason why I say this is because for a GM that actually has power, they will be able to keep the Big Show from coming in the arena. Not only in the arena, He came in the ring to do a promo. Now, okay, when it comes to this whole corporate storyline, what made it interesting was the fact that it seemed really realistic. It seemed something down home that people can actually understand. That, okay, there is such thing as a corporate takeover. There is such things as abuse of power. There is such things as absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is what made this storyline completely interesting and completely intriguing to watch. But when you honestly see these two buffoons in the ring thinking they have all kinds of power, when they're allowing a giant to come in the ring, not only that, but to get in the ring to do a promo and then get clocked and then you just walk out with no security behind you, there's no realism there. How can anybody even believe that? It's gonna downgrade the entire storyline. So honestly, that's one thing the creative needs to work on. But the one thing I am gonna say about SmackDown is SmackDown does a good job in promoting pay-per-views. Not like Raw, but SmackDown really does do a good job promoting Hell in a Cell. Especially when it comes to the World Heavyweight Championship, which makes me happy. Because even though a lot of people kind of get some grief from John Cena, and I'm one of them, I understand why they did it. Because John Cena will bring a lot more prestige to that belt than Alberto Del Rio will ever do in his best day. So honestly, I would rather him take the belt back. But that's for a prediction video in itself. But moving on from there, I will say this. I am happy for what they're doing with the Wyatt family. Because even though things kind of seem a little random with the Wyatt family, I will say this. They're doing something with them. They made all this hype up for their debut. And they made all this hype up about how strange they are. They're actually somewhat feuding with The Miz and Kofi Kingston, even though Kofi Kingston is now becoming completely insignificant because he's getting beat up in every single match he's in. Oh, poor guy. But anyway, it does make me happy that they're doing something with these psychotic heels. And even though that his two minions was actually fighting this time, Bray Wyatt can still have as much power and as much control over the crowd without doing a single freaking thing. You have not seen a rookie in WWE do that ever demand that much control over the crowd just by sitting in a rocking chair. That is how powerful this character is becoming, and that's why I love this guy. I love this guy because he's the only psychotic heel left, and I love my psychotic heels. But anyway, I will say that the one biggest thing for me was the final finale of the show, the final match of the show. I loved it because they actually didn't do anything with the tag team titles when the Shield had it. But now it actually has a lot more worth since Cody Rhodes and Goldust is having the title because they did so well with their storyline. And as much as I hate family being in the storyline, they did a good job with this. They had it a little bit more, I would say it's a lot more tasteful in a way than how they did back in the past. But I will say this, they played it out so well to where you literally fell in love with these guys and you really started becoming a lot more emotionally attached to them, and it made the belts be worth even more, and they did a good job with that. And showcasing them with Daniel Bryan, one of the top guys at this moment, with the final match versus the Shield, I think was a great idea. It really was, and I absolutely loved that match. I enjoyed it so much. I really did. And my overall thoughts of SmackDown is that SmackDown really did a good job in promoting Hell in a Cell. They did a really good job with their feuds. It was completely unrealistic what they did with the whole Big Show thing, as well as the insignificant presence of the GMs. But either or, the matches themselves were pretty good. And as well as the Divas match, it was okay. But it shows that Brie Bella is going to probably fight AJ Lee down the line, maybe on Hell in a Cell. But regardless of that, they did a good job of promoting Hell in a Cell, and that's what they're supposed to do. As for TNA did an awesome job promoting Bound for Glory. In my humble opinion, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, especially the finale. That was pretty much one of my favorite segments of the night, was the finale, as well as how hardcore Dixie Carter started to become when she put a $50,000 bounty on the head of AJ Styles. I love that. I enjoyed the show a lot. It did a great job for Bound for Glory promoting for tomorrow, as well as SmackDown did a good job promoting Hell in a Cell that's supposed to be next week, I believe. But either or, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Leave your comment in the comment section below or send me a video response on how you feel TNA should have went or your overall opinions of TNA as well as SmackDown. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.